Hello everyone, today I'm sharing with you a journal I've made for a swap on the Facebook group Junk Journal Junkies, and this is a Christmas junk journal swap. We had to make a junk journal. It had to be a minimum of 7.5 by 5 inches, and I think this is 7.5 by 5.5. It had to have one signature with 20 pages, which equaled 40 pages in all. It only had to be one signature though, which I found a little bit difficult because it's quite chunky, but anyway. And there were a few other requirements that were necessary, but that's the general gist of it. This is the journal I've made, and as you can see, it's really chunky, especially for just having one signature, and like I said, I did find that difficult. For the cover, I've used cardstock. It's a double layer of cardstock, and then I decoupaged the cover, and I didn't like it, so then I covered it with brown paper, and I ended up putting this hessian, which is from a shopping bag I had. I put that around it. And I've just put a couple of little flowers where the wispy blowing flower was. Put my name on the back. A little bit of lace offcut. This is the closure, which is just a piece of nylon fabric, and it's actually got a stretch to it, so it works quite well. I've layered fabric on the front with some book paper, some lovely tatting and lace offcuts. I've printed this image out, which I got from the Graphics Fairy. I just altered it a little bit to suit my needs, and that's onto fabric paper. I've put a little charm piece there, a bell because we want it to sound like Christmas, and just a little bead dangle, all on one of those clothing pins there. So the closure is just, like I said, a piece of nylon fabric that just ties. And here we go, and it's really, really full. So as I go through it, I'll just take all the tags out so it'll give you an idea of what it's like without the things included inside. Okay, so this is the first page, and it has a pocket, as you can see. I've made a little booklet, and it's the visit from Santa the night before Christmas, and this is a pamphlet that you can find online, and you can print it out yourself and do what you like. I've actually used this before. A couple of years ago I made a fabric, well, not a fabric, it was a paper and fabric book, the night before Christmas, and you can get this printout from glamourbomb.com. I will put a link to where you can get it in the description box below. For this book I've used the Tsunami Rose Christmas list, and I've also used Kaisercraft Yuletide paper, and then just bits and pieces that were my own. So this is in the front cover. I've got the little booklet there, and I have a tag that has a rub-on. I got rid of all my rub-ons a while ago because they weren't working, and apart from the Christmas one because that was somewhere else, and they work, so now I'm sort of, oh goodness, they do work. Just some gold foil paper, and I've backed everything and inked everything. A little to-do list. I've actually remembered to use my stamp from Crafty Irene. Thank you, Irene. And then I'll just go through. I've put a bit of beading, I don't know if you can see it, a bit of beading there on the holly, just to add a bit of dimension. I've put some beautiful vintage lace down the spine there, and some washi tape underneath that to keep things nice and tidy. These are printables from the kit, and they're all, that's got graph paper on the back. And I found a couple of old diaries, Australian diaries, and in the months of December they had all these different pictures, and like this is a poem, and they had all little interesting facts about Australian Christmases from the past, so I've used those in this journal as well. And sometimes when you're using tea and coffee dyed paper, you might end up with a little crack or a rip in the paper because it does become a little bit more, fragile. And so I had this wrapping paper. It was really soft and pretty. Somebody had sent me something, and so it's pre-love wrapping paper. So I've used it throughout the book just to patch little places up. So that was quite useful. This is from the Kaisercraft line. And just little tuck spots. That's a pocket, and it has a vintage napkin, Christmas napkin in it for whoever gets this journal. I don't know who my partner will be. I won't know until just before it gets posted off in November, I think. Just some gold foil doilies. They're not tuck spots, it's just to add a little bit of sparkle, because although it's supposed to be a vintage book, I do think that in the olden days they had shiny sparkly things as well, so I'm not adverse to putting a bit of bling in things. This is a tag that Yankee Finally Crafting sent me for Christmas, so I backed it with some tea dyed paper. She also sent me that beautiful pocket. So that's going in here. That's gone in here as well. Just a paper napkin decoupaged onto that paper. Lots of sewing. An old ribbon that someone sent me in our Christmas Down Under swap. It was on the packaging. Just another. Yeah, this is a printable from the kit. Lots of vintage. Not lots of laces, but little pieces of vintage laces in here. Just a doily. That is not a tuck spot. You might be able to use it as a tuck spot, but they're quite fragile, those doilies. I've got washi tape throughout. That's a printable. And that's another one from the Australian Diaries. It's just like a postcard, and I've just put the tea-dyed paper on the back there. And there's another one. Kangaroo mince pies. I don't know whether I'd be wanting to try that, but it's there. And that's a lovely applique from Irene, who is seriously scrapping this boutique on that one. And just more beading on the ivy. Just that's that was an index card, and I think I coffee dyed that one and it lost all its lines, but that's okay. Nice and sturdy little tag with a bit of stamping. More pictures from the diary. Or Christmas, it's like a little miniature card. Then I've just put some tea-dyed paper on the back. We have a bag here, and it's just got another bit of ephemera in there. That's just a little wooden frame with a little sentiment in it, because I think we had to have sentiments. I have some music notes, plastic music notes there. I've just like inked them a little to age them, and they were from Lily's shop, Shabbylicious, when that was open. And then we have another one from the diary. Really pretty soft colours, those ones too. And they are Australia, so I don't know, it could be overseas who gets this book, or it could be in Australia. And some tickets. I think that was a printable online, but I printed it a long time ago, so I don't know where I got that one from. There we go, some beautiful vintage lace down the centre there. And I did that in a couple of spots, put the ribbon there, and I've got this one here. And it's mainly because with it being one signature, I thought it might be, the pages might have too much strain, so I put something there to strengthen it at various intervals. And just a little tuck spot there with some old vintage tinsel. We have a pay envelope there, and just a little, just put that back there so I don't lose it. No, I won't. What's in here? Oh, it's just a bit off that gift wrap paper. with a couple of blings, just a little journal spot behind it to look pretty. Just don't want to lose that one. Oh, that's an applique I had in my stash, and it was quite bright, so I inked that as well, just so it would, you know, go with the whole theme of the vintage. And of course these pages, they're all from the printable kit. Oh, see, I've got a little white line where the join is there. What I'm going to do, I don't have it on me right now, I'm going to get a light brown colour pencil and just go over that so it blends in, because I don't like that at all. So I should have done that before I filmed, but I forgot, so I must remember to go back and fix that. And it'll probably be, see, it's not on all the pages, but it is on a couple, I noticed, so I will have to do that. Just another one from the Kaisercraft collection. Another bit of patching, some lovely lace, beautiful lace. This one, it's got like a pewter kind of colour thread through it. Music paper, little tuck spot. That's just a green envelope to put things in, and just another piece of the index card that I've stamped on. Doesn't fit in the envelope, but I don't mind. It's just there to look nice. This is some old vintage ribbon I've had for years and years and years, and I finally got to use it, so I've put it over that bit of cardstock to look pretty. More washi tape, some stars, and this is the center page, and on this side I have just a piece of paper. And that idea came from Paula Lemon, I think. I damaged one of my corners up here with the sewing machine, see? So I've just glued these little corner pieces on with a Christmas tree brad. And this is the center, and this is a little, it's like little pockets, and they've got these beautiful tags in here. And they were sent to me by Mary McInerney. Thank you, Mary. She sent me those a couple of years ago, tucked into a little book, and I thought they would be perfect in this little album. And this centerpiece here, because that takes up, you know, that's quite bulky to have those tags in there. You can either leave these in here now, or you can just undo that little bit of ribbon there and completely take that part apart, and it will be less bulky then. So, and then we have another one of these on this side as well, and that's just some tea-dyed paper for extra journaling. That could be a tuck spot. I didn't put every, you know, things in every tuck spot. So there we go, because it was getting quite full and bulky. The outside of the doily, some more of these tickets, some music paper and some baking paper, a bit more patching there, more from the printable kit, and tuck spots. And in here we have just, that's another printable from the kit of music paper, and this is just a little organza bag, and it's just got a couple of offcuts of cards that you could journal on if you want to. So that goes in there as well. That's a, you see, that's another tuck spot under there. More, a little bit of patching there. Oh, and that was because the bane of my existence, I'm not very good at stamping. And just when I think I know what I'm doing, I forget things, and that's what happened. I thought, I'll do some stamping, so I stamped on this side, and it completely went through to the other side, so out came my bit of wrapping paper, and I patched that over there. So let's and that's a bush Christmas, a poem there, another little greeting card from the diary, and that's another tuck spot there. That's our printable, that's one of the printables, and that's from the Kaisercraft. That's another bit of that ribbon there. That is not a tuck spot, that's just for decoration. Just some little cutouts. Okay, I think Yankee sent me those two and that round one as well. So thank you for that. And that's from I'm probably not saying her name correctly, but she is finally crafting on YouTube. And that's just the other side of that bag. It's just an old bit of ribbon I had received on a Christmas gift once that I used because it had Merry Christmas, and we were meant to have sentiments and things in here. So I just did it in various ways. It's just a little belly band, and this is just a little bit of journaling paper in there. Another one from the diary, and another one from the diary. Came in very handy to find those, and I didn't have that in, well, I was going to use the pages from the diaries for junk journals and things, but it was a bonus with the Christmas album. And there's the other side of that, that's another one of those doilies there. Just another couple. This was sent to me a while ago, and I don't know who sent that to me, but it just worked lovely in this particular album, and that's just part of that index card as well. You can see how the lines have all run on it, but I like the feel of it, and I did a little bit of stamping as well. That's the other side of that ribbon, just more from the printable kit. And this was the other part of the music paper, but when I'd sewn it in, it kind of went up at an angle for some weird reason, and I just, it was driving me crazy, so I just cut it off and used it as a tuck spot. I've had this ribbon for about 4 years, I think. It was one of the very first things I bought when I started crafting, and I've only just used it really. I think I may have used it once before a little bit, but I can't remember where. So I've used it in here. Another tag with one of those lovely appliques and just some little cutouts from the Kaisercraft kit. More of that lovely vintage ribbon. Just another tuck spot in there. And there's another napkin. Thought that was quite pretty to go in there. And I've got these metal words every so often as well. And that's from the printable kit. Just another little tuck. And there's another part of those rub-ons, those Christmas ones that didn't catch in a couple of places. And it was very bright white, the Santa. So I ended up inking over it a bit, just to sort of blend it in a little bit. And almost done. And it's just a little postcard envelope from the kit, and it's just got some spare wrapping paper, writing, journaling paper in there. And the last page, we just have another greeting card from the diaries, and another tag from the Kaisercraft collection. And that's just an offcut of the hessian or burlap, whatever you call it, with a bit of this glittered mesh over the top. to make a tag. And then on the back page I've got some washi tape under here, this beautiful vintage lace. And one of the things in the diary, it had a thing on Boxing Day, so I thought that was rather good to have at the back. And that is it. And that's what it is like without all the additions, and so it's not too bad. But it still does tend to, although it could be just like that because it's had so much in there, it does tend to pop up a bit, but I think that's because I read a lady on the group talking about you know, how books pop open like that, and it is because it's only one signature. Had that been divided into about 3 different signatures, it would sit a lot better, but we learned something. But I mean, that was the requirements for the journal anyway, to do that. So I hope I haven't forgotten anything there. Pretty sure I got through it all, put my name on the back, and that's it. So I hope whoever gets this journal in our swap likes it. It was fun to put together, and that's about it, I think. So take care, everybody, and I will put a link to Junk Journal Junkies in the description box below, but I'm not sure if the link will take you there or not, because it is a private group, I think it is. You have to join it, but I will put it down below, and if it works, that's great. If not, I will put a link to Yvonne Preston's channel, and she runs the group, so I'll put that link down there as well. So take care, everybody, and have a great day. Bye.